Hello there. This is a bit of a different farming guide. It's a compilation based on a Limgravelocked character concept of various viewer requested items to farm. Here, from the Tombsword Catacombs, I suggest farming the Tree Spear from the Tree Guardians trio that you can find there. This is the earliest point in the game that you can conveniently farm the Tree Spear. So if you're either doing a Limgravelocked character, in which case this is the closest site of grace to any Tree Guardians, or you're just trying to do a playthrough with this weapon, I highly recommend grabbing this grace and using it to farm. This next item is the spiked spear. You can go from the fourth church here in the Weeping Peninsula into the swamp by dropping down from the cliff at a certain spot. It's not a high drop rate, but you have 2 chances per farming run, and you get some poison bloom flowers, which will be useful for making poison grease if you so desire. They also drop large glintstone scraps, I believe they're called, which can be used as a combat consumable. And since they can't be purchased, it's not a bad thing to end up with a bunch of those. But the reason I recommend doing this farm on a Limgravelocked character is because the spiked spear is probably the best dual wield weapon you can get this early. With its fixed bleed and of course the inherent power of the spear moveset. This next requested farm is for the brass shield. Now obviously the brass shield can be farmed from all sorts of places in Limgrave and beyond. However, for an early level character, I highly recommend doing the farm here. Not only is it fairly convenient since you can sneak up onto 2 soldiers pretty close to the grace, but you also have a chance to drop the Mausoleum Surcoat, which is an armor set I highly recommend both for fashion and for a pretty good poise to weight ratio, as well as going with all sorts of sets and being obtainable early. This next requested item is the Gravesite. As well as the Sunrealm Shield. You can farm them here in Limgrave, just going west here of the Grace, in the graveyard onto the Drowned Village. I highly recommend using the Sacred Blade Ash of War, as that will speed the farming of any undead. And I only point this location out, not because it's extremely convenient, but the mobs here are weak, and if you're grabbing the Sunrealm Shield, you're probably doing it for aesthetics because its statistics aren't that great. So I figure if you want to do a full playthrough, you can farm it up here. Similarly with the Gravesite, this isn't the fastest farm. It may not be the best location, but it's fairly safe. And if you want to do a playthrough with it, it's not a bad place to start. Obviously, if you're playing, as I am here, on a Limgravelocked character, we do not have access to any other notable farm locations like that of the Church of the Vows. Finally, this last request is for some of the imp items, as well as the wolf imp head item is very, very efficient for a Limgravelocked character. That's why I'm wearing it here. And it is not available anywhere else in Limgrave except in the standard graveyard as a random drop. If you don't have such scruples and you want to obtain the item otherwise, you can go to Caelid to grab it from the Minor Erdtree Catacombs as a world drop. However, if you want to farm it out, then this is the only method. At least if you're within Limgrave. Make sure to destroy the chariot before you attempt this farm. And have prepared Margaret's Shackle, because the fire trap here, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the only, is either the only or one of the only fire traps in the entire game that resets itself. So every time you come here to this doorway, you may have to lower it again using the shackle. And then on the left, you'll see our target. That's the wolf-headed imp. And it can also drop the forked greatsword, which is also through this mob available in a Limgravelocked character. Good luck farming out there, and thanks for watching. More Limgravelocked content will be coming eventually.